development. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make difference, achieve greater heights. Leadership is about 3 I, that is influence, impact, and inspiration. We have one such three iconic leader with us today. I kindly request Dr. R. Mary Matilda, Head of the Department, SREC B School, to deliver the introductory remarks. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Raghunandini, for your good start for the entire program. And welcome, warm welcome to the chief guest of today and all the participants over here for this international workshop on upskilling for digital world for the career development. This program actually started up when we, myself and Dr. Samuel Johnson, we had a very nice conversation during the Teachers' Day. And, he wanted to have his own batch. The entire batch came down for a Zoom meeting like this with the old faculty. And, we had a very good time talking to each other. And after the program was over, both of us were talking for a long time. And that is where we actually coined this kind of program for the students. And I know Dr. Samuel Johnson is very passionate about, upskilling of students because, year on year, he's there in our campus also during the orientation program for the first years. And typically, we renamed this program as upskilling in the digital world for career development because as now me and, Uma ma'am was discussing, digitalization is nevertheless a very, very significant, role that everybody has to play and there's no exception. Typically speaking, upskilling is not an option, but it has become a necessity for everybody. And, according to, statistics of 2020, a skill report given by Capgemini, it says that, 45.9% of students are only getting job opportunities, even though the job opportunities are very high. The reason is that, people have identified a skill gap. There is a gap. So how to fill the skill gap is that every company is talking about, every education, institutions are about, every consultants, every freelancer is all about. My dear students, one thing we all have to realize is that nothing good comes from your comfort zone. We have to get out of the comfort zone. And the moment you feel complacent with your comfort zone, I think, we can never upskill ourselves and we can never come out of the shell to make innovation or creative or, do something really great. The success really depends when we step out of the comfort zone. I think this program, the international workshop ordained for the entire week from 19th to 23rd of this October, is going to train you up, make you learn, give you a lot of insight, give you a lot of inputs, and equip you to understand that you have to step out of the comfort zone and how you have to, come out of the comfort zone and upskill and reskill yourself to equip yourself for the better employment. I think this workshop will be a great benefit to all those who have registered for this. And I thank all those 83 members who have registered for this program. I think each day we have the best speakers, and I'm hoping to see that we all will really take, we'll have a lot of takeaways from each of them, and we will utilize it, we will implement it in our daily lives so that we can upskill in this digital world for the better career development. Thank you one and all for registering for this program and being present over here. And I'm sure that, if your your colleagues, your friends have registered and are not here, kindly remind them to get inside the platform. And over to Raghunandini to introduce the chief guest for the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words. Good business leader create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to the completion. We have one such different version of leader with us as our chief guest, Srimati Shivakumari Jagdishan, ma'am, management consultant and CEO at iCube. I kindly request Ritik of second year MBA, SREC, to give a brief introduction about our chief guest.
Thank you, Raghunandani. I take immense pleasure in introducing the chief guest of today's international workshop, Srimati Sivakumari Jagadeesan, Management Consultant and COO IQ. Ma'am is an MBA Finance Gold Medalist, graduated at Annamalai University, India. She had been the member of Lambda Sigma Chapter, University of Phoenix, USA in 2012. She is a green belt holder in Six Sigma and is also specialized in digital automations, client lifecycle management, governance, compliance and audit management, ERP technologies, and many more. Ma'am started her career as assistant manager, account services at Standard Chartered Bank India in 1995. From 2010 to 13, she worked as the global head WB client onboarding and counterparty static data unit, Standard Chartered Bank Singapore. From 2017, she is serving for iCube as COO and management consultant. With 25 years of experience in banking and consulting, Ma'am is here with us to adorn the workshop. I now request you to share a few words with us, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Rekatika. Thank you all for such a warm welcome. And I'm extremely glad and very, very happy to be here today with all of you and sharing my life and my career and what made me bring this so far. And it's very, very nice. Nicely put it. I think, I don't know who brought it. I think it was the other lady who spoke. I forgot her. What is the name? Dr. Mary, I think it was Hiran. Raghunandani. Okay, she started with the beautiful thing. I am a very old timer in the sense I kind of stick on to certain phrases and certain things which is never, it kind of surpasses time and years to go. And that one such thing is, I always said nothing is impossible in the world. It's a Napoleon Bonaparte's wording. And I still kind of firmly believe in it. And I kind of take it every step in my life. I always decide this is what is there. And I also have another tagline: professionalism is the personal touch. This is what I created when I created my CV after I did my MBA. I said I need to have a tagline to brand myself and carry on. Until today, I still have that tagline. I've never changed the tagline because it surpasses all time and it just kind of stands the moment of truth. And so I wanted to, I mean, when they invited me, actually, I also met Dr. Samuel Jackson in one of a panel discussion which happened for VIT, and I happened to be one of the panel discussion, and we came across and we found out they had a lot of passion, same passion in terms of developing people, in terms of educating, or the passion of driving what drives the impact. And that also brings in the 3 I's that you're talking about: the influence, impact. Making an impact is more important than making the effort of, okay, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. What is it that you kind of bring an impact to it? So that is basically the whole thing. Now that I'm here, I know that it is a formal workshop, but I wanted to keep it as informal as possible. But I have also created some slides just to kind of take the flow, so then we can keep it as this thing. Let me share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the future of work. I mean, we are in a situation, 2020 is a year of history with pandemic, COVID-19 hitting us and taking us all for a shock wave. But now we are trying to kind of live with it, and now we are trying to say, what are we doing it? And for you, those who are graduating this year, it makes all the more this thing. How do I do? What does the future of work look like now? What was it till last year? As it is, the digital age was coming and hitting us. The industry revolution was coming and hitting us. How do I keep? What is it that holds the future of work holds for me? What are the upskilling and reskilling that I need to do? And how do I stay relevant in the current terms? It's both of a challenge, both for the industries, organizations, and as well as the workforce put together. As Doctor has said, how do we map the skills gap? The Capgemini report, the future of work or the workforce, the skill gaps are widening. How do we bridge that gap between what the industries or the employers are looking for and what do we produce from the B schools to kind of impart them with the relevant skills to make them stay relevant, and the organizations can use it for them. And also, let me just do some reality check. Yeah. So reality check is all of us have read so many articles, publications, our own courseware, and we are watching news, reading podcasts, watching YouTube channels, all kind of digital media, social media. It's coming and hitting us. How do we clutter the whole, filter the whole clutter that is coming around us, kind of? So what are the fundamental things that we need to do, right? So let me start off with this. Today, 79% of the CEO says there's a lack of key skills and it's threatening the growth of organization, which I kind of clearly agree. Being in the industry for the almost 20 plus years, I'm constantly on the verge of always finding talent with the right skills to sit the right job. And that's just not easy, right? Because it's as things grow, as business continue to move, the type of skills also kind of evolves around it. So it has been a biggest challenge for me as a personal thing, and that's what I would kind of resonate with all the other CEOs who are actually feeling this, the threatening of the lack of key skills. So what is this whole skills that we are talking about? Is it training, or is it training more, or learning, or competence, or ability? What else? You name it. There are different views. Everybody will get it, and everybody will have their own thoughts as well as what they hear from it. But is it all making it any clearer to anybody? I don't know. Maybe it could be as confusing to anybody at that moment. But let's see. But one thing for sure, we cannot do today's job with yesterday's method. Whatever we learned 20 years back, not going to help us now. We have to stay relevant, and we have to help organizations be relevant in the current atmosphere and the current business context and make it profitable. So with that, I just wanted to kind of give you, so I kind of visualize all of your batch of 2020. You will be having a dream job. You are having a lot of thoughts of what is an opportunity, what kind of work organization I'm going to join, what is my salary, how is my career going to grow. You'll have a lot of different questions, but that's kind of clear the clutter and bring you some kind of realistic things. Let's not. It's sometimes you just feel like you're boiling the big ocean and you're just going to get in there and then you will be lost, but that's not the case. But it's like clearly, if you kind of do that, one in terms of clear career filtering, finding out what is right for you. Not everyone is equal. Everyone has their own different types, preferences, type of skill sets, what they're good at, what they're not so good at. How do we kind of own those skills and all that stuff? Yeah. So I always like this phrase from Peter Drucker, who's the father of management. Of course, you know, the only skill that will be important in the current century is the skill of learning new skills. Everything will be obsolete over time. It's a fantastic saying of, he's not pointing out this is the particular skills you need. It's the skill of learning new skills. How do you adapt yourselves and learn? That is what is very, very important, kind of, right? So I would say that I'll take a pause here, and I wanted to show you some difference. When I finished my MBA in 1994, and I just said, okay, what do I do in life? What is it? Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It says, where do British Prime Ministers come from? And I said, oh, okay, fine. And of course, from Standard Chartered Bank. That is what attracted me. I said, okay, let me apply. But unfortunately, Standard Chartered was setting up their credit cards business first time in India. After this Harshad Mehta, that man, I don't know how many of you know about the scandal. The Standard Chartered was almost going to close its operations in India because of the big scandal, that Harshad Mehta scandal in 1990s. And they were caught in the realm of the merchant banking. So, but then the group in the London decided if a country can make so much of losses, what is the opportunity or the potential for a revenue making? And that's when Standard Chartered re-christened itself and said, okay, let's break away from the banking union thing. Let's set up a full-fledged credit card business with the top-notch MBA professionals from 70, 80 universities. And we were hired, all the top first and second rank holders were invited to come and take the interviews and go through the job interview process. And that's how we all landed up. First time we broke apart saying that we will not operate in any union-based cities because it was too strong. So they set up a headquarters in Bangalore, and it's a new bunch of 70, 80 MBA professionals from all walks of life, all over the country to set up that. And it was a tough fight. There were about 400 students who came in, and about like 70 of us got selected. And that got through this normal process of your entrance exam, your written exam, then there is a group discussion, then there was an interview process, kind of. So my interview lasted only for 2 minutes, and the question they asked me was, "What is it that you think you're here for?" I said the plastic money revolution is going to hit the industry, and that's why I think I'm here to make the difference. So that's just one liner. They said, "Okay, fine, just go ahead," and it was very, very interesting there. And then after that, there was no stopping for me. It just kind of continued on and on. And it was a great experience. So given that experience, I'll break that there. Then now let's come to see, why are we talking about skills and non-skills? It's always been there. It's just that the type of skills that has now reached. So what are the things that are changing that skills, the requirements, or reassessing or upskilling and reskilling? Let's see, I can say three major one. Basically, the skills that we used to have, the traditional management skills or the traditional things are disappearing there. The shelf life of that skills that we used to possess and we think we can do away for the rest of the life and the career is no longer there. What you learned 5 years back doesn't hold good now, because it's completely changed by the way the business dynamics have changed, the business models have changed, and how the whole the work ethics, the work type, the pattern, everything has changed, and that kind of shortened up skills completely. So you just keep needing to learn new skills to kind of be relevant, stay relevant, perform the current business opportunities that we have. And the second one is, obviously, as I said, the skills keep changing, they are shifting, and the digital disruption is the major factor for that. You can say the force behind the digital disruption is forcing us to kind of move towards adopting this and embracing this change. The change is no longer an option. It is the only thing that we need to do. Skilling and reskilling is the only thing you can kind of continue. So that's, and then this, as Doctor had initially said, the talent shortage. There are a lot of job opportunities. I wouldn't say that it is not there or it's been strong. Obviously, GDP is down. We are entering into a recession and all that stuff. But then the organizations are suffering for finding the right talent with the right skill sets. That's what it is. And the skill sets are not just a learning one, right? It's basically performance. We want the skill sets to actually make an impact in the day-to-day lives of an organization, of a people, and to kind of benefit out of it. It's just not just being just for the sake of getting a degree or just for the sake of getting a certification. It's not going to help. It's just going to be how hands-on, how practice, and how does your skill sets influence that outcome-based approach. And that is what we call as performance. There are a lot of history and research being done on skills family in the industries, any organization. I can tell you about the banking, right? I did a couple of years in HR as well. And one thing this thing is, I get very bored easily, kind of. For me, the mundane job of doing this every day, though I've been in operations predominantly, but I feel so bored to kind of do a repetitive task. So I always take the first one to say, if there is anything that is different, I will just jump out for it. Every 18 months, I will re-challenge myself saying, can I do this job? Can I do a finance role? Can I do a HR role? Can I do a project manager role? Can I do this thing? You have to kind of constantly keep testing yourself to see whether you're relevant or whether you're fit to do that job. So if you see, I started off my career with a small team of people. I was managing people. But then later on, that's when Standard Chartered had this initial proof of concept for setting up a shared service center across the 3 geographies, one in Chennai, Africa, as well as in Malaysia. We were also considering China. So there was this core team that they wanted to pick up, who can think, breakout thinking in terms of how can you visualize this whole shared service concept. So I had finished my 18 months of that assistant manager role, and I was looking for something different. What next? Then I said, okay, fine, let me volunteer for that, because I didn't know anything about it, but I just said, okay, let's go about it. And I was part of the core team, which actually did the proof of concept. We did a board for a trade services department. We kind of said, okay, why don't we try for India? So we had centers across all the major cities. So we set up a shared service center for trade services India. And took us about 12 to 18 months of pilot for us to actually accomplish. This is just within India. What you're talking about is just within India. But then after that, we said, okay, now let's go outside. In the sense, how do we bring Singapore, operations or Hong Kong operations or your Dubai operations, how do we kind of bring them? What are the things that we need? It's a massive program, which we call this multi-business processing. And that is when the BPO industry was actually picking up in India. And ours was a captive BPO in the sense we set up our own BPO, but nevertheless, there are other IT industries, other banks that were also setting up into other proper third-party BPOs and stuff. It was a big challenge in terms of, so how does the business model work? How does the business process, the whole process re-engineering work? All of those concepts that's when the Six Sigma came and your productivity. How do we make sure that you get the efficiency out of it? When you're moving a job from, say, 1,000 jobs outside of India and back to India, obviously there is an impact on the other side that people are losing jobs out there. But organization will have to think about how do we reskill them and how do we give them into more additional reskilling rather than displacing, finding them additional roles or new roles that can help them for which whatever the skills that they need. And that is a lot of debate that is there. There's an emotional factor. Jobs are moving away and there is a lot of this thing. So I used to be part of the core team visiting the countries to study the process. But then the people on the ground, when you know that you've come here to take away the jobs, imagine the kind of response you receive when you have to go and study the process. You have to sit with the processor to understand how do you do a loan application, how do you do a credit card, this thing, how do you manage these export bills or exempt bills, how do we do the NELS, letter of credit. You have to sit with the processor to actually jot down which process where, which can move to India or which can move to an offshore center, which can do the whole process re-engineering. We'll have to cut the processes so that you don't have too many handoffs. And there is an emotional impact in terms of telling them, okay, why don't you, since you're doing this process and if that's going in there, can you do a review process or can you do an approval process for which you need to do additional reskilling and all that stuff. So those are the kind of projects that came in, and I was like happy to experiment, learn new things. And it's always very, I'm not saying everybody likes it. People like, stable job, but then obviously there is the personal aspect as well. You should be able to live on a suitcase for almost every 3 weeks in a month. You have to be out of the country studying, living in the airports and hotels and stuff, That is not easy, but then some people have that opportunity. That is another way of putting it. And I think I kind of utilized it. So then at the end of it, when I did that whole, I kind of recruited about 8,000 people for the India Shared Service Center for across all the countries, right from US, UK, Asia markets. Australia was very small, then Middle East markets and African markets. And personally, I had to kind of come back, literally review what kind of skills I need, skills who can do processing well, those kind of things. Then how do we, that is when the whole digital thing happened to me, saying that we need to have internal social meetings. How do we interact with them? How do we talk to them? How do we do training? We can't take all the 7,000, 8,000 people abroad and train them. How do we do the train-the-trainer approach? That is when the adoption of technology and the technology tools that will help us the workplace kind of, and then see how we can do that kind of. So that's one side of the story. So obviously I'm just giving you a relevance to the context of what I went through so that you can at least appreciate it and apply it in your sense. Not everything will apply for everyone, but different industry had their own thing. But if you see over a period of time, actually, you will see that it is actually industry agnostic. This, whatever we are talking about, you will realize it is actually very generic and it can be applied in the sense, how do we want to apply it is the basic. Yeah. So coming to that, so people will say, oh, we need to be, today they use all the big words, right? We talk about data, big data, we talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, cloud computing, cyber security. All these buzzwords actually are scary. But there are other things, those are hard skills, you can say. I can say, oh yeah, I'll get a certificate. I got a certificate in this thing for cloud computing or the cyber security. I'm a risk professional or I'm a compliance professional, kind of. But one piece of advice I would say is, yes, we have to be well versed about all these terminologies and the technologies and these buzzwords. What do they mean? But I would suggest break it into very, very simple as to what are these, some of the use cases, what we call as the personas that this is being used for. Where is blockchain being used? Where is your artificial intelligence in which industry? How is it touching our lives in a day-to-day basis? Is it touching there, or is it there? And what is it, the kind of relevant information that you need around it for you to make sure that you can actually apply, you can actually possess some of the skills or learn some of the skills. And if you're really interested, you can go deep into it. One is a generic one, but then you can be a specialist approach. Obviously, workforce today, we need both generalists as well as specialists. And it depends on which type of industry there. Earlier, we thought, okay, the big organizations are the only places to go. But now, with the flurry of startups that are coming, unicorns in the India, we have like Razorpay joining recently. There are tremendous opportunities there. It's just not a banking or a BFSI is the only segment that I can go for. I can go for IT-enabled services are there. E-commerce is like floundering there with jobs and jobs, kind of new kind of job roles, which we never even thought it existed in this thing kind of, right? So all of these are there, but we also need to think about some of these core vital skills which will continue to be there and continue to be reinforced for your job, for you to actually adapt to a situation, perform well, and make sure that you are happy, the organization is happy, and it's like this thing. And I don't think nowadays, I've stayed with Standard Chartered for almost 20 years, 20 plus years. It was very difficult for me to come out of the organization. But I made a move because some personal reason I had to compel. I said, okay, fine, I have to come back to India. So I said, fine, I will move. That's high time that I kind of had a change. But within that organization, if you have seen my role, every 2 years, if you can see my LinkedIn profile or you can see this, every 2 years consciously I move from a complete solo role in terms of doing projects or driving programs. Then I will set up a unit where I will have 100 plus people to manage across the globe. Then I will just jump into a completely, when I went in India, after this projects thing, I moved to Dubai. Before Dubai, I had like 700 people. I started the team with 7 people for just one aspect of one HR process for I had to do the global processes for payroll and performance and stuff. And then by the end of the 18th month, I had 200 people. The whole floor was mine. And I just finished and handed it over saying that, okay, this unit is all complete now. It can well run on its own. And you just need an efficient manager to kind of manage it. Then I went into a role where I was the only person in Dubai. It was a regional manager. We had a private banking. We had acquired private banking, Amex, American Express private banking. So I had to set up a new function. And I also need to manage the merger of the American Express. It was quite a bit of a challenge. It took me about another 2.5 years for me. I started off as a finance and admin kind of a stuff, but then I became the CEO in terms of managing the client life cycle and other stuff. So that is another interesting thing. So then when that came on a curve where I kind of felt, okay, I've done what next, Singapore is basically our business headquarters, though London is the headquarters for Standard Chartered. Singapore was looking at this whole data. What is this data that they're talking about? And that's when the regulations started hitting us, fines started coming with us, the US came heavily fined. So what do we do? Another new one. And sometimes I would say I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. So I went and joined as a single person. Again, I gave the complete team, handed over it to the existing team member, and I just moved to Singapore. I packed my bags and I moved, and I had no vision or I had no clue what that role was all about. But all I was given was we need to create a data organization for Standard Chartered. That was the only thing, and I had to report into the wholesale banking CIO, and a person from McKinsey joined, who was my boss, and then eventually after 18 months we set up this counterparty static data unit for the entire corporate and international institutional banking. And we also kind of formed the CDO, Chief Data Officer organization, as a function in the bank, which was not heard of. That's when rest of the banks and rest of the industries were talking about Chief Data Officer. We never used to have. We have a CEO, we have a COO, we have a CFO, we had a CTO, but not a CDO. But now that Chief Data Officer is a very, very important piece of any organization for that matter. And then thereafter it came out to the Chief Digital Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, all of those trends started coming out. Right? It's like how you kind of be there, and how do you do that? It's breaking it simple, making it simple, applying it to your day-to-day essence, and how do we do understanding the business model. So, for example, banking has a big model, right? You have a front office where the RMs will be doing their selling, relationship management. We have a middle office who will take care of all the paperwork. They do the reviews, approval process committees. Then we have process owners who will actually do an end-to-end processing of this. And then we have all the products, transaction banking products, or your retail banking products. It could be anything. And how do you stitch it up all together into an enterprise data management thing is something which we'll have to think about. And it's a very interesting this thing. For those of you who are interested in banking as a career or a BFSI, feel free to reach out to me. I can give you ideas in terms of where you can actually focus and specialize on. So in all of that, you've come back to your vital skills. Those are hard skills is one, technical skills, you can keep it there, but then you need to have the soft skills, which are very, very fundamental in terms of, especially in the current environment. I know these are all like what I've listed down here, 10, it's coming from Forbes. It's not my own thought, but I agree to it. That's why I picked it up. I wanted to show it to you. But how does it happen in today's parlance? Creativity. Mundane things are not going to happen. You have to be strict. You have to be like smart, on the move. How do we kind of do? Every day you kind of keep changing this. And creativity is very, very, your critical thinking, analytical and critical thinking are extremely important. How do you apply it? It can be very, very generic, but then you keep practicing it, only then you will get it. Otherwise, you have to keep challenging yourself, saying that, how am I standing the test of right? Am I okay today? Am I lacking in anything? How should I manage the situation? That's what all of us will face the same thing in your personal situation, or could be any kind of a social interactions and stuff, The other thing is the emotional intelligence. Now, we didn't hear about, when I was doing MBA, I did IQ, but not EQ. Emotional intelligence was a very, very unknown concept, but today that is very, very vital. You have to be socially amenable. How do you have your own thoughts and you're very strong and stuff, no problem with that. But how do we kind of adjust yourself socially in that particular context of who's present? How do we not just think for yourself, but think for others' point of view, saying, am I saying the right thing? Is it the right thing to say in this forum? How do we go about in terms of making everything pleasant rather than just being this thing? It's basically concerning for others, right? Then active learning with a growth mindset, obviously that comes, it's very natural, right? All of us are ambitious. Everyone, we want to grow. And then you enjoy lifelong learning is something which is, I like learning. And again, I don't like to read books and books of thing. I like short reads. I like podcasts. I like videos, which are quick and which I am very impatient. I cannot sit and read. My shelf life of my this attention span is very, very this thing. I need to have it, make it very impactful. Give me this thing. I'm not a Gen Z guy and all, but still I feel that I need that small snippets. Then I will kind of apply it and say how we can enroll there. Obviously, again, active learning is something that everybody, all of us, whatever age we are in, there is no other option, but you have to continue learning to survive or adapt yourselves to the current situation, right? Then obviously judgment and business decision making. Again, I'm not a big thing on this, but then all of us have that little bit of how do you apply your judgment and decision making. But when it comes to business context and stuff, there are a lot of things you need to consider before you can make a judgment. There could be emotional drivers, it could be other drivers, but then in the context of the things, you're flooded with options that you can go through, but you know which one to do that. So how do you balance it, that trade-off with your risk and returns is what you're like kind of do that. And then obviously communication skills, interpersonal communication skills are very, very key in terms of how do you adjust yourself with community kind of. I'm a very easy goer. I'm not a very strict or a rigid person. I just go into any kind of a social meeting or any official meeting. I can just go and mingle. Even if I don't know the topic, I can just participate and say, okay, probably I'm a newcomer. Let's learn something here. What do they have to say? What do they have to contribute? How do we take it from there? And how do we kind of improvise on it? You're just constantly thinking there kind of. Obviously then your leadership skills, everyone has different styles. And I think my sincere, this thing would be on the leadership skills. It's basically just be your natural self. That is what will help. Though you might have to put up a little bit of operational, official attire and other stuff. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to do anything. So there. And then obviously diversity and cultural intelligence, I learned a lot in terms of, especially when you move geographies and we are having cultural teams. Within India, you have so many, but then if you go abroad and like you have various country and you need to know one thing, whether you know or not, whether you know the language, you should know what should not do that will offend people in terms of your body mannerism or your language or the way you greet. You have to kind of the social etiquettes is one thing which we kind of get trained in every country we go the day before we there. And obviously the last two things I don't have to say, emphasize more technology skills. That's the only thing that we have to do. And then all this change is the only constant thing, and then we just need to do that. I think as long as we commit to a lifelong learning, I think success in our workplace will be a reality, and it will be a constant this thing, So I'm just going to do a time check. How are we doing on time? Am I running slow? Or are we okay?
Oh, ma'am, I think it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. The flow is okay. The speed,
Yeah.
I can speak a lot faster, but I've tried to maintain. Okay. So I'll finish a few of the slides and then I can open it up for Q&A that will become more interesting, where I can share some of my experiences and answer direct questions. Okay, so obviously, yes, soft skills is done. Now we are talking about World Economic Forum says they have to reskill 1 billion people by 2030. And that 42% of the core skills required to perform the existing job will change. And there are certain jobs which will actually be born new, which is perfect. I can give you some examples of it. And it's all what we call the new phygital, right? Physical plus digital is all phygital. So that's where we are all heading towards the fourth industrial revolution, where data, information, other things kind of. So some of the new things, I know that I covered a lot more, but I'm just going to give you just a glimpse of what kind of skills you can have. Data skills is a must. Every industry, every function, you will have to deal with data. And I don't know how comfortable people are with data, but initially when people say, oh, data, I'm not a data person, kind of, but I can think about it. But now that is obviously business analytics is there as one of your specialization. And I would say like 15 people who have taken it, they are kind of way ahead of it, kind of. But it's good. Actually, you need to enjoy data to make a career in data, right? And I was very, very strongly pulled into it without me knowing it when we had to set up this counterparty static data. I never realized there was so many kind of data available in the bank for just one client or something, right? You're talking about client data, you're talking about market data, you're talking about reference data, you're talking about enterprise risk data. How do we do that? And when you're actually doing an enterprise-wide role, which is a global role, which is, we're talking about like 70 countries, and we are talking about like 60,000 employees. And we had to make decisions or submit reports on data in terms of your risk report or your credit report to Basel committees or your regulators. It's quite a unnerving thing, right? When you had to kind of do such critical data consolidation of a bank and then presenting it to that, and you could be jailed for that if you make mistakes and stuff. But somehow when you start enjoying it, it will naturally come to you, and the confidence level also increases, kind of. And there are beautiful aspects of being there, managing data or reading data or understanding data. How do you kind of combine the whole thing? It's not like you'll say, oh, organized data is information. Not like that. It's actually building a storyline, a pipeline of how the whole journey of the data happened. How do you do that? Then came obviously, yes, the data that we are handling cannot be handled in Excel and stuff. We have to get big data. We speak with all these. That's when all these fintech and all these data techs and the reg techs came and helped us. Banks were actually struggling to find out, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to track this amount of data? They're sitting on data, but we're not doing anything about it. And then obviously the technology revolution in terms of these data companies, the tech companies that have come in, Teradata. We worked with quite a few kind of, and that was a scale. It was like budding when all the tech startups were coming out with these solutions, because they are new and they are actually there. But where the bank is so big and it has so much of legacy systems for us to move and get the data, and it doesn't match. The data doesn't match between one system and the other system. How do we kind of extrapolate it and then bring it to all to make some sense is a big thing. There's a big this thing there. The other area about is all of us, when we started this whole shared service, or we can call center of expertise, obviously we look at process optimization. Then comes your RPA, robotic process automation. How do you do the process modeling? How do you do the process flows? How do you automate? Then you create bots side by side. Which are the things that you don't need to do, sit and do? You just need to manage and ask them what to do. Just put and install a bot. And how many of us like, machine learning? Then you have or natural learning languages, as well as you have auto ML, which we can train. How do we train them? Constantly train them and see how scenarios in terms of decision making and stuff. Then obviously in the terms of blockchain, you have this various distributed ledger where all you can apply. Supply chain is another area of vast opportunities that you can do. And then interestingly, I was thinking, why this sales and marketing? And I wasn't very appreciative of it, but I know marketing is, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a marketing person. I'm not this thing. That's why I kind of, my career line or my roles that I've done is always on the program management, operations, process and stuff. I'm never on the direct sales. But interestingly, in the last couple of years, this is, I've learned a new thing in terms of, not new thing, I knew it, but I was not ready for it. Probably, I think now I moved out of the corporate thing and came out. Marketing is a big thing. It's a big, this, right? Especially in the current scenario of digital marketing, when you're talking about all the social media assets that we have, how do we manage constantly your blogging, your, this is just your SEO, how do you do your SEO? So there's an amazing abundance of opportunities, and that's a very, very critical area that you can do that kind. So these are some of the skill sets, but I think that there are opportunities. The industries are craving for more people, but they're not getting the right talent with the right skill sets. Just because doing a digital marketing course is not going to help. You need to know how to apply it in the real sense, in terms of how do we manage our campaigns? How do we get this thing? What is your 10-point lead generation fee? So is it a prospect or a cold calling? How do we balance it, and then put the right analytics in terms of your keyword searches, your Google AdWords, or your SEO campaigns? You just name it, you just get it there kind of. So it's another vast area of this thing. So that brings us to the next question. So what are the industries? I took only the top 5. I know there are a lot of other industries, but for me, obviously banking, BFSI is close to my heart. Half my life has been spent in that industry, and I would say that it's completely changed the way we look at things, the way we look at talent, the way we recruit people, the way we train people. And I've always a strong believer in terms of that is where the academy and the industry connect happens. I was always telling, catch them early, in the sense like you go to a B school, or you have a tie up with the schools, and give them, include them in the curriculum of what the skills that are required for various things. So for example, in the banking industry, I can say that in our organization, all of us, we used to have job descriptions, roles there, but we also have something called a skills family framework, which we do. We kind of contribute saying that what are the various types of skills families, and what is it that we can do, and where do you fall? Where does the current employee falls into that? And also show them a good career line. You want to be in a generalist role, or a specialist role. When I'm talking about specialist, you can talk about a trading floor, or a dealer who actually wants to put through the deal, or it could be a generalist, I want to just do an operational kind of stuff. So you kind of give them a good visibility of, you are starting, say I started this thing as an assistant manager, then I went into a manager, then I became a vice president, then I became a COO, then I became a managing director. All that part, it's a mix of which role you choose, which this thing, and what are the skills that are. And any skills we definitely need, you need both technical as well as soft skills. You need to kind of do that. And how do we kind of equip ourselves? There's a multiple of ways. There could be classroom training, there could be INSEADs, you go to your other various other schools, top-notch institutions for your certifications, or you just do your own learning in terms of your tools. We have our own internal portal, learning and development portal. You pick up the areas that you need to do. You just pick up that. I think that's that kind of clarity is what most of the organizations have, and the very advanced organization, they actually do the mapping also, the competency framework. There are a lot of specialized workforce also which they actually come and do. How do we do the competency frameworks, and who all fits into it? Where does your skill index that we do. How do we measure it and how do we put it there? And all that we have to, this thing, So I think from our top, this thing is like, obviously BFSI, they need to do digital. This pandemic taught us within like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the March, all of us had to go into a remote working style. Imagine banking and processing, IT, the BPOs, all their, some companies gave them their existing physical PCs that were there and were shipped into the employees there. Some others, they bought just laptops and distributed it along with them. They had different ways of reacting to it, but it taught us it's actually not an option anymore. And that's the only way you can survive. And then the whole 6 months of working remotely and managing business continuity and the way it was done, the future of work is now being asked the question, will it become the new normal? And obviously that is what it is. It's going to be a blended workforce strategy. Not every employee needs to be in the office. Now organizations have realized that they don't need to do. There are certain things, what they thought it was very, very critical and that campaign happen only in the campus or an office space. It's not a this thing anymore. Now we have shown that we can do things remotely and we have done this. And I think that that will kind of really seriously think about, do we need so much of real estate spends, given that the whole industry is like buzzing around, how do we now manage the new normal? What do we do to kind of use this opportunity to make sure we have a blended workforce? How do we open up the limitations of talent available in a physical location to a remote working where we can actually tap the enormous potential? Geographies are no more boundaries, no, absolutely no boundaries. You just need to kind of go this thing kind of, right? So I think those are the kind of questions that you do. So from a BFSI perspective, IT is also is how do you want a service provider kind of. Manufacturing, on the other hand, you have these IoTs and other stuff that are coming out. You know, the whole process optimization, that's changing the whole way it's being done. That's a beautiful area, an industry that is actually requiring major upskilling and reskilling with the advanced technologies that are coming in. And we have like health tech, water tech, all these kind of startups coming up with amazing ideas, brilliant of ideas. And if you just go through and just open up and just see the startup space, the gig economy, all of that is kind of requiring massive talent, but at least it comes realistic in terms of, you know, oh, I can do this, I can become an entrepreneur. Not everybody would have thought when they were doing their B school or anyway, that, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, I don't want to join any organization. But you see now, I think it's kind of completely there. Obviously, e-commerce, I don't have to say anything about the e-commerce because like flourish of this thing that has come in. And it's very good. There are a lot of opportunities that is there, but obviously you have to keep the shelf life, as I said, of those skills will be very, very shortened. And you just need to you need to see the future before you are actually getting depleted there. So you have to be very careful. Then comes your, of course, healthcare, remote consultation, online consultation. We have seen it and we are living with it and we're just getting with it. I think that's a fantastic there. I'm not just limiting for these, but I thought from my experience, I can cover these things. And I think those were relevant. Obviously, there's another thing, a very important slide that I would like to say. McKinsey had, what are the ways of skilling? So I'll show you this itself rather than this thing. So, though it says financial institutions, I think it applies to across all the things. Probably the examples that they've given here is more of from a banking perspective. They call this as a micro skilling. How do we get existing staff in terms of fundamentally changing, without changing the roles? How do we kind of impact them more deeper into the organization and to take on more roles? Upskilling, we all know what it means, but then obviously, how do we get manage the next thing? Then reskilling is completely train them in a different skill sets in terms of do that. And the last one is this hiring this new talent. That is the critical thing. This hiring new talent also, I think that's where industries are predominantly coming now, saying that they're more into the academic and they wanted to make sure that these are the skill sets. This is like Digital India, Modi announced, right? Demonetization. How do we kind of bring that all early on so that it kind of comes as a package as part of your curriculum? And when you guys are coming out of the schools, you are actually fitting well. You don't need to get into that whole, of course, there will be an induction. You have to learn the organization. You should know all of those. But I'm just saying, how can we bridge close the gap that we are trying to say, you come out of the same, B school, and then you get trained in there, and by the time you kind of get your experience and stuff, something else is coming. You just need to do that. So how do we bring that whole gap together is something I would like to, probably I'll talk to Dr. later on as a separate thing. How do we kind of bring that industry insights early on so that the ongoing education for you is made relevant and helps you in terms of finding out the right, making you ready, more ready. Let's put it this way, right? You don't have to do that. I think, yeah, so, but it's a beautiful slide. I don't know, I just like it, and I just love it. It's a way of looking at skilling. Talent and workforce skilling is your key thing. Any organization, you can solve any technical problems, you can solve any number of mundane business problems, but finding the right talent and the right skill sets and scaling them to get the thing is the biggest challenge that continues to bother the thing. And we're all here to see how we can address that thing. Okay, so coming back, I think this is my last slide. After that, we can go to Q&A. Coming back, so recap. Again, skills in this thing: adaptability, flexibility, your leadership, your coding skills, digital skills, your emotional intelligence, lifelong learning, creativity, your tech savviness, your critical thinking. These are all going to be very, very important. It might look very, very generic, but then try to apply it in the sense, in the parlance of what you're doing, where you're doing, what are your interests, which area do you want to be, what kind of a job role you want to look at, what is your dream job, what are your career path, all of that. If you put that into the context, I think this will be a good journey to start for you guys. Future of work, upskilling and reskilling. Okay, I think I took about, yeah, we have 15 minutes now. Yeah. Okay, any questions, anyone? I can stop the share.
All right, so Dr. Mithila ma'am or other students, anyone? Do you want to take up the Q&A? Because getting industry people giving that much insights, a person who got from Annamalai University and then quickly to become a vice president, senior vice president, working all over the globe, it's a great honor, and people should take that as a, is everybody from Tamil Nadu? Dr. Mithila?
Some Kerala is also there.
Oh, Malayali Checha Chetundo. Okay. No problem. What I'm trying to say is
local girl going international. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, I am from Kadalur.
Kadalur.
Yeah, I did my schooling in St. Mary's Matriculation School. Then after that, I got married when I was 17. I had my daughter at 19. And I did BA English Literature through correspondence. And then I wanted to get into it, so I just joined MBA as a last choice. 92 to 90.
So don't you think this is such an amazing thing? And all of the children now, students who are attending here, maybe they may not have gone through your phase. Their parents are giving them good education. You study and then you get married. But how is this life altogether? Many people think women cannot, go to that peak, but you've been working and family and then growing up. Can you just tell a light and give some method to the madness for this generation? Because this generation is not able to take care of their own head. Forget about other heads in the family, right? Because by the time they come to the college, they have a vision, Uma madam, you see my action? They have a vision. Wow. My vision, I want to be. But as soon as they come to that first week in the Ramakrishna College or my VIT, anywhere, they will see a sparrow and a butterfly and a, blah, blah, blah. And the world is so colorful. The vision gets division.
See, that is why I don't know whether you heard it or not. When I started, I said, I like this word, nothing is impossible in the world. The Napoleon thing, I will never change. I said, for me, if you tell me it is a challenge, that I'll be the first one to come there. Give me the challenge. I will do it for you. I have to show that I have to do it. That is my thing. So I've always been the one who can raise the hand. Any ambiguity, I can deal with ambiguity. Because that is when you can become an artist, perform, draw, shape, give it. I like to see something which is, I'll tell you an example. In 2002, I was tasked with one thing. There is a Channel Island between UK and France. There are two islands, Jersey and Guernsey. We had an offshore center there, and we acquired Grinley's Bank there. Okay, so Grinley's Bank was one building, Standard Chartered was another building. I was asked to say that at the end of this project, I want one building to be shut off. So all they did was they just built the connection because it was a merger. They did a connection, but my MD ordered me saying that, okay, you come here. British Prime Minister also came for the inauguration and all, I remember there. And the one part of the building, I said, I need to cut off, meaning I need to reduce the operational processes, efficiency, move the processes out to the shared service center, and also redeploy people. These were the three targets I was given. So that is something I can visualize. I said, okay, fine. And then after 12 months or 18 months, I went there to actually shut down this thing, one building, and we gave it away. That was, that I can say, a transformation. And at any kind of transformation in the bank, some people have this thing, right? They'll say, okay, let's reach out to Uma. I have worked with every bosses in the world who are of different nationalities, 40, 50 nationalities. Be it American, Indian, British, Chinese, Hong Kong, Malaysian, Singaporean, Switzerland, Ireland, Finland, Greece, Italy, Saudi, Kuwaiti, you name it, I've worked with everyone.
Okay.
Wow.
So how did you manage this, called as cross-cultural?
Wow.
Can you give an idea on? Yeah.
It's huge. That's why I said I just get to know a few things about them. What will not offend them. Otherwise, I'm a very natural speaker. I don't boast. I don't create my own brand. If people love to talk, I will let them listen. Let them talk. I will do all the actions and work and other stuff. If they want me to talk, I will talk. So it's just depending on how the opponent person wants me to be seen. I will just. They call me as a chameleon. Like I go on the other side and become. I was the few people. Some cultural thing are very, very difficult, right? I get invited to everybody's home when I travel to their country for their in family dinners or lunches and stuff. So that's how I kind of see. I don't make them threatened of me. They shouldn't feel threatened. Right? They feel that you're part of this, you're there to help them. And I will show them the value, pay it forward, you call it, right?
Okay.
So I'll just, okay, you want me to do? Just go give her a clincher deal. This is my deal. This is my contribution that I can do. Tell me what you want to do. You want to showcase at your work? No problem. You want to showcase it at my work or joint work? No problem. It's a collaboration because you knew the thing. I had the ability or skill sets to kind of do that. And then just do that.
That's really great. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, I have a question, Uma ma'am.
Yes.
எங்க ஊர்ல you are a girl, நீ ஒரு பொம்பளை, நீ வெளியே போக கூடாது, டிராவல் பண்ண கூடாது, நல்ல கும்மன் சாப்பிட்டுட்டு கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டு ஒரு 4 பேரை கொண்டு பத்தி இங்கேயே இருக்கணும். இந்த மாதிரி, this is how the whole society, we will make you study, we will make you educated, but you're not supposed to travel alone. And you, as a woman, you've been to I don't know how many countries and worked with multinational people, whereas in business school they only talk about cross-cultural education. But you've been there, you've been there, you worked there. How did all this really happen? What gave you that courage? Is it that family supported you, or you took that on you? The message is for all the students who are,
Okay, I come from a very orthodox Telugu joint family. So we were a total of 9 children.
How many?
3 boys and 6 girls. And I was the second girl, eldest girl.
What was your dad's job?
No, I mean, it's joint family, 2 families, right? So
okay, together you're saying.
Yeah, Periappa had 3 kids and my dad had 6 kids.
Okay.
I
Volleyball team எடுத்துட்டு வந்துட்டாரு.
I was named. I have an elder brother. I was named Shivakumar, thinking I'm a son by my granddad, but I turned out to be a female, so they made it as an I, Shivakumari. And then they gave me a short name. Then after that, we had 3 more girls, and then last one brother, he has the name Shivakumar.
Wow.
So when I finished my 10th, my cousin sister, who's 15 days elder than me, we were studying in the same school, same class and all. And then her sister, they are not very good at studies. They were not, but we were all good at studies in the sense we will be like between the top 3 and stuff kind of. And I used to do a lot of debates and dramas and all that, sports and stuff. So after my 10th, my Periappa locked the gate. He had a rice mill, my dad and mother. He locked the gates for us to not to go to the school to join +1 and +2. So my dad came from there without his brother, elder brother, knowing, to open the gate. Then he took us to the school and then he enrolled us and then do that. So my elder sister, the cousin sister, she could not study, so she got married off. So I was standing in the next in line. So my dad told me, okay, see, you cannot, I don't know whether my brother will allow you to go to college. At least get married, your husband will allow you to go to college. Okay, but unfortunately, the family I married into became even more orthodox, and they didn't allow me. So they made me go through a correspondence. So I had to fight back. Then I had to kind of, I became a single mother. Then my parents supported me. After that, all my brothers and sisters are all doctors, except my last brother. He's an engineer. I'm an MBA. The rest are all doctors. Everybody is in the US, all settled there. So I kind of stayed close by within India, like 4 hours flight to Dubai or 4 hours flight to Singapore. Kind of, that's the.
So there's nothing that, whatever the society says that women cannot. There's nothing. You proved it. And
Exactly.
so when Uma ma'am can do it with a correspondence course, then a regular MBA, and then going to so many countries, my only question to all the audience here is, how blessed are you? How fortunate are you? Look at these questions. See, these are not questions to ask you. These are the questions which will not make you sleep tonight. If you really have the blood, that question should make you not feel sleepy. Why am I existing in this world when God has given me so many good things? So there is one woman here who fought all the odds, worked with multinational companies, top positions, not a small position. You just go through her profile, and with ma'am's permission, we'll send it to everyone. Go to her LinkedIn profile and see how amazing. So why can't we do these kind of things? Why Dr. Matilda and Ramakrishna College is doing this kind of things is, these things you can never get it in the textbook. Maximum you'll get it in the textbook is elasticity of demand, supply chain management, and Dr. Mary Matila's favorite, retail management.
When I joined my first semester in MBA, I was a little late. They said, oh God, this female BA correspondence, she has a kid. And I was slightly above age of that group also because I missed 2 years. And they said, what is she going to do? Kind of. When the first paper, the semester marks came, I was like way above the rest of the class, 120 students. I was like somewhere out. They said, oh my God, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
Like almost a 50-60 mark difference, kind of, the overall total. Then I said, then the specialization comes in. Then I wanted to take finance, but I'm not a commerce graduate. I'm more of a science and math. So I didn't know what was debit or what was credit and other stuff. But I got like a distinction in finance paper when I specialized.
But ma'am, Uma ma'am, my MBA students nowadays are very intelligent. They don't need to know debit and credit. They'll just go to suspense account and put it there, and then tally that account and say, "Mere ko nahi pata, I don't know." They suspend lo kuch. So thank you so much. It was so lovely talking to you. I hope this message of what Uma ma'am has given. See, we've chose speakers from different parts to make people understand, especially the audience. I know so many people are sitting here. Maybe you have a smile on the face outside, but I can challenge you, I can bet you, inside your heart, you're not able to sleep properly because of Corona. Because there is a stress at family, because there is a stress at placement, job, வாழ்க்கை, especially boys. All right. என்னமா ஆகும், Getting the point? At least if there's a placement, these are the questions around which this conference. So within this 5 days, we want to challenge everyone that few of these questions will be addressed. For example, when Uma ma'am gave this amazing skill sets, what are the skills that you need to have? We're going to talk about where are the internships available, where are the projects available, where are jobs available, where you can work from home and still get the salary. I'm going to go some case studies of how my students sitting at home got placed. Sitting at home got 8 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh. And sitting at home, they already got the first month salary. How is it all these things are happening? As Uma ma'am says, it's all possible because, all right, they upskill themselves, they reskill themselves, they micro skill themselves. So as students, do not worry, all right, because the more you worry, all right, it's going to take your life into more hurry. Yeah, and whoever is in hurry, they need to bury. All right, punch mama, KTR, na? It's a different punch. Yeah, worry, hurry, bury. All are correlation. If you want me to prove it statistically quantitative, I can do a correlation regression and prove that all three are correlated. So the best thing is remove all the three, have a good curry tonight, eat, take rest, chill, and think for yourself. What did Uma ma'am say? And everything is live on YouTube. It will be there for you so that you can rewind. I bet you getting a vice president level at this age, coming to you and talking to you in your home, on your mobile. It's, how difficult it is to bring these people if it was a normal thing. Just imagine how much Dr. Metala and the whole team has to work out, logistics, flights. It's not that they won't come. What I'm telling you is, hey, they're coming to you.
Right.
Just open up your mind. Just think about them. How did these people at such a young age, married, children, studying, and came to such a top position? I'm sure when ma'am worked in the starting, she might not even had a mobile in her life, but she has transformed banks in a global level on digital things. So that's a living testimony there. So we thought, why don't we start this conference with these kind of top living example, a living example. And I wish Dr. Metala and team have a tie-up with Uma ma'am and consulting.
Sure.
Office in Singapore, in India. See, this network is very important. Yeah. And before I take over and close, I want to tell you, your net worth depends on your network. Panchamama, double quotation, Samuel Johnson. இது கூகுள்ல கிடைக்காது, கூகுள் அம்மாக்கே தெரியாது. எனக்கு தான் தெரியும். உண்மையா சொல்றேன், ஓப்பனா சொல்றேன். I'm telling you honestly, your net worth. You ask Standard Chartered Bank. If they think, hey, I'm Standard Chartered Bank, I will sit in Dubai. யாரும் வர மாட்டா. Network, customer base, country to country, level to level. They did the network. Otherwise, why did ma'am go from Chidambaram and Kadalur to all over the world? It's network. Somebody saw her job, she did better. Then somebody referred, then better. That's how she grew up. In one bank, growing from a small level to, that is something so great. So, Uma ma'am, your final words before.
I think it's nice to come to such gathering, and I felt honored and privileged. Why didn't I think about it before? Like I should have done this more often and do that kind of see. And like see, it's not like branding or bragging. It's just that good stories to be told need to be shared. Experiences need to be shared. And I think if this can inspire people, putting them the right track and having a successful career, I am like always at this thing. I like teaching people. I like guiding people. I'm a mentor to a lot of people. I mean, though I'm like there, so I kind of inspire people. So I want to continue to inspire, make sure they get the inspiration and grow. That's my final thing.
Wow.
And thank you all of you for giving me this opportunity and having the patience to listen to me and my bragging stories and stuff.
No, I guess this is more important than a theory stuff, because this is life, and that's why life skills are more important.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. So is there anyone who wants to just turn on your camera quickly and ask a question to Uma ma'am before she goes up, and then we wind up with the final. We have an activity now. You'll love this activity online, and yeah. So quick, anybody? Yamini, Harish, Raghunandini, Arunamia, Yama Yirkara, Ingila, Chai, Inga Putarama, Amma Metlama.
Everybody is there, Johnson. Don't worry.
Okay, listen, don't worry about your background, and we are putting tie and all. See, work from home, you're only seeing my shirt and tie. Below, you don't know what. So don't worry. Okay. Just sit comfortable, aram se how you are. You can switch on, because that's in the industry, when you're having this interview, just imagine you have an interview and you say, hey, I don't want to put my camera on. You interview me. எனக்கு சம்பளம் கொடு. என்ன கொடுப்பாவன்? புரியுதா நான் சொல்றது? Getting the point? No, I'm an MBA. அப்புறம் என்ன? நான் என்ன பண்றது? நீ MBA னா? கேமரா போடு ஃபர்ஸ்ட், அப்ப பேசு, வாயில கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லு, அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம். நான் ரொம்ப ஓப்பனா பேசுவேன். தப்பா எடுக்கக்கூடாது. All right, many people come and say, wow, the world is green. Metla ma'am has a tree behind her. This green, hey. World is not green. And what is that famous statement, ma'am? Bed of roses.
Bed of roses.
Bed of roses. Macha, machi na open solra. Bed of thorns. வாழ்க்கை வந்து MBA முடிச்சுக்கு அப்புறமா மாஸ்டர் ஆஃப் பிசினஸ் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் கிடையாது. Right? So it's going to be a master of beggar association also. Yeah, I'm not joking. Don't mistake me. You may spend 8 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 6 lakhs, but you need to go beg every company for a small job if you don't have a skill. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm not comparing the beggar, but you should not be in a stage to go and beg for a job. You should be in a stage where people buy you, not select you. There's a difference between selecting you and buying you. You know how you should talk? Hey, if I don't take Harish, somebody else will take Harish. If I don't take Arunima Dev, somebody else will take. So before somebody selecting Harish or Vandana or Yamini or Rikita or whatever, I should take them. Why? Because these people have that skills. And the level can nama pesano. Yeah, because I speak to so many MBA students in the first day. Okay, I ask them, hey, how do you want a job? You know, Uma ma'am, what they say? Rotating chair. AC should go throughout the body. AC irukkunuma, rotating chair irukkunuma, a minimum 5 digits salary. Enna solran? Minimum solranga. Minimum 5 digit salary வேணுமா? chair வந்து fixed இருக்கக்கூடாதா? அப்படியே ஏசி விண்டோ இருக்கக்கூடாதா? அப்படியே வரணுமா ஃபுல்லா? எதுக்கு நான் வாழ்க்கையில் இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கவே இல்லை அவன். I am not saying that is wrong. Please understand, my dear students, you will get what you deserve, not what you desire. எழுது வச்சுக்கோங்க. இல்ல நாளைக்கு டேட் நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. 20/10/2020 மறக்கவே முடியாது அந்த டேட். 20/10/2020ல ஒருத்தர் வந்தான். முடி ஒரு மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு, ஏதோ டை போட்டான், என்னன்னோ சொல்றான். அவனை அதை நடக்கும் பாருங்க. நான் சொல்றத நடக்கலைன்னா நீ எனக்கே கேளுங்க. 20/10/2020. You will get what you deserve, not what you desire. When I was in my college, guitar, Aishwarya Rai. Yama, I don't deserve Aishwarya Rai. It's my desire. I'm giving you a straight example. I want to become vice president of HR. I want 15 lakh salary. Do you deserve 15 lakh salary, first of all? While a 15 statement correct varma first. English la pesnona, how are you able to convince the opponent people? You know, these are very important, because mark, as Uma ma'am says, mark is only a certificate and mark is a piece of paper. It is important. But beyond marks, whatever Uma ma'am says today, ma'am, thank you so much for telling the students. But I want to encourage all the students, there are jobs available, there is positions available, there is future available even now. And actually we did a research, ma'am, in the last 4 months. There are more jobs for MBA now than before. நிறைய பேருக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. More jobs, especially in digital marketing, digital space, digital banking, fin technology, sitting at home and writing all this Power BI and Tableau, எத்தனை jobs. Because see, now everybody wants these kind of things to work from home. Yeah, and so if our students can do small certification course, equip themselves, placement is not a problem, ma'am.
Yeah.
So Uma ma'am, with your kind permission, let me close your session. I have a quotation which I just wrote yesterday. I wrote a lot of quotes. அதுக்கு தான் முடி இப்படி இப்படி ஆயிப்போச்சு. என்னோட கோட்ஸ் ஒரு நல்ல கோட் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமுக்காக தான் நான் யோசிச்சு கோட்டேஷன் எடுத்து பண்ணேன். You know what is my quotation? I hope the Malayali Chechis are understanding. And the Dr. Matilda? Tamil purida avungalku?
I think better you switch off little to English only.
Yeah, so my quotation is,
yes, sir, we can understand.
They should learn how to groom themselves during studies, BTech, MBA, no matter what they study. They should know how to groom. If you don't know how to groom during the degree, you will only get a broom after the degree from your family, from your society.
Groom and broom.
You didn't understand. Dr. Metla ma'am is still, I'll tell you it again. All the students listen. Faculty, we are okay. We studied, we got a degree, we got a job. Anga, our vice president, madam, she went to all the countries. Now I'm talking about you. If you don't groom properly, you will only get a broom. Yeah, choice is yours. Broom, I'm not saying the servant job. I'm talking about everybody will talk ill about you. Your own family will talk ill about you. You want to know how much your parents, father, mother love you really? Hey, I bet you, man. If you want to know how much your parents love you, sit after your PG without a job for 3 months at home. You will see the real love of your parents. Anybody, I challenge you, right? Because parents love you. It's not that they don't love you, my dear friends. They sacrifice for you. Don't bring a tear in the eyes of your parents. All right? You don't need to give them crores, boss. Upskill yourself, groom yourself. Next 4 days will tell you, will show you where the job market is. We'll show you basket by basket. Business analytics, where is it? Data science, where is it? Power BI, what we can do. You know how? So we'll narrow down the next 4 days. We have international speakers, national speakers. We'll come together. So I hope it was a wonderful day. Umaji, thank you so much, ma'am. Metla, ma'am, you have any formal word of thanks for them? And then I close up at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Uma ma'am. That was, very practical life sharing experiences that you spoke to us. And, you really brought out something which not many students today would have actually thought about. Because always, we're very conservative and we think that, okay, we won't be able to do this, that is always in our mindset, right? And you are a perfect example who broke the boundaries and really gone ahead. And that's a great learning, more than whatever skill set you taught us today. I think this is a peculiar and a very creative, innovative skill set that you've taught people today. It's not only for the girls here. We, of course, all the girls and ladies here are proud of you, but for even the boys, because most of them think, oh, I'm, grown up in this kind of family, so I cannot go beyond and all that. I think this is a great example we have got. Wonderful. And I have to,
Uma ma'am, I want to honestly admit to you, Uma ma'am, Dr. Metla ma'am was my teacher.
Yeah, she was telling me.
She never thought in her life, even in her wildest dream, that this student of hers will ever come back to academics. So sometimes you never know. Yeah, but these people, I definitely tell you, wherever I go, I really admit it. We were spoiled once in the world. Music, life. I thought I know everything in my world. But these people didn't give us a lot of education in terms of knowledge, but they showed us life. This is what it is, Sam. And they used to always leave us in the floating water. I still remember she was very intelligent. She used to never tell me you're wrong. Hey, Sam, this is nice. That's not. If you don't do this, you'll go. That's all. So we used to we used to think about what did she say. Then we understood that whatever they told us was for the next 20, 30 years. We never understood then. But I want to tell all the students, getting professors like them, I don't know if there's anybody from Ramakrishna College of MBA, we were blessed. I need
All
to hold my hand.
professors here, Johnson, my team is, very, very dedicated. That's
Yeah.
the speciality of this place, Suma ma'am. You
Okay.
can't find many other places. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good, good. And
You
have a
should.
nice week ahead. I think the whole week you have a series of speakers, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. All the best and good learning.
Thank you. Thank you for inaugurating it. And you should definitely visit their institution and have a good tie-up.
Yeah.
I'm very sure that this association
Definitely.
will take you. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Nandri,
Thank
Nandri,
you all,
Vanakkam.
guys.
Thank you.
Vanakkam.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. So, Dr. Metala, ma'am, we'll just go with the final phase of today. Yeah. And I'm trying to share my screen. Just tell me, because this is just to see the audience participation, to give them more clarity. Okay. So this is for all the audience, wherever you are. You just need to go. I'll also put it on the chat. You go to mentimeter.com. I'll put it on the chat for you guys. Mentimeter.com or www.menti.com. I'm giving you two websites. Give the code as 2266521. This is the code, and then you need to answer this question. Or there are quick 4 questions. You just need to answer it and then say, we'll see how to align. You can do it through mobile. Oh, thank you. Already 2 people have answered it. We have around 73. So even if 50% or 40% or 60 answers, it will be wonderful. All right, because this is how a workshop should definitely, get along, interactive. Oh, so many MBAs here. Come on, quick, quick, quick. Others, yeah. Okay. Wow, 22, 23. Well, okay. So where are others in the group there? Okay. Okay, so predominantly, Metala ma'am, I'm seeing as predominantly they are MBA students, huh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because
Even from the other institutions,
oh
they
yeah, nice.
registered. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Because this data, we want this data because anyway, we have the master sheet, but we want to help them so as to, for an MBA, again, tomorrow we have a super specialization data. So by the time the Friday is over, they will understand this is how I enrolled the workshop. But at the end of the 5th day, I am going to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. So
yes.
Majority. So we'll close up after 4 more because it's a very good turnout. I really need to appreciate people being so active. Generally in workshops, there is no interaction, but this is wonderful that you and your students are, and the team. Yeah, and are the faculty members there? What are the names?
Yeah, our faculty are there. Johnson, all our faculty.
Grace sir is there.
Yeah. Is here.
Yeah, Grace sir, vanakkam.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Vanakkam. How is it going on, brother?
Wonderful. As usual, you rock. And the punch சொன்னீங்கல்ல, that was wonderful.
Which one? Broom and groom, huh?
அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நீங்க net worth.
Yeah,
okay, that's wonderful. Okay. இதெல்லாம் நாங்க எழுதி வச்சுக்கணும், நோட் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கணும்.
எழுதி வச்சிட்டு மண்டுக்குள்ள மூளுக்குள்ள அது.
And happy to share you that the students who are going to do MBA with us, from the academic year 2020, they have also joined
Wow, that's
the
amazing.
program.
It's a good thing you did. No?
So that's wonderful. Anyway,
Wow.
you're going to come for the workshop, but still, it's a nice introduction for them to know about upskilling, reskilling, everything.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. So they have joined.
Good, sir. Thanks for all your efforts and
Thank you,
placement
sir.
team. And you
Thank
have
you,
a
sir.
good leading team there. So let's go to the next question, my dear audience.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this question is a little different because the first question, many people said you're MBA. So I want to know, if you are doing MBA, what was your undergraduation? Were you a BTech student, a BCom student, a BBA student, a BSc student, or what? I want to know from the, and I'll share this graph with you, and this graph is going to be there because okay, I don't know. Are you able to hear my voice clearly, Grace sir, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were able to hear you.
Okay, okay.
Sir.
Okay. என்னோட தமிழ் பரவாயில்லையா? ஆந்திரா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா
இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆயிடுச்சு சார்.
இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆயிடுச்சா? நிறைய பேர் சொல்றாரு ரொம்ப மோசமான தமிழ் பேசுற சென்னை தமிழ்னா.
இல்ல, அந்த மோசத்துல கொஞ்சம் இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க சார்.
இல்ல, கோயம்புத்தூர்ல இருந்தனா என்னங்க வாங்க போங்க அப்படி இருந்தோம். இப்ப ஆந்திரா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா மிக்ஸி. இங்க ஆந்திரால சொல்றாரு நீ தமிழ் பையனா ஆந்திரா பையனா ஒரு மாதிரி பேசுறது இல்ல. It's all confused. Okay, now
you're always Metrodam paiyan, sir. That is fine.
Yeah. Multi. See, Metla, M for Metla, ma'am, M for multi-talent.
Hey,
okay, sir. Carry on, sir. Carry on.
Yeah. So I don't know whether you people know, ma'am's name is Dr. Mary Metla.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we used to call her Mother Mary. Because for every day we have to hear her lecture. Every day she used to give us gyan. Mother Mary. Anyway, she was a mother. Okay, now BTech 8, BCom. So percentage analysis pata. Majority is BCom. Okay, now that's good. See, why we need this data is B school should work based on the undergraduate program. So if I see more of BCom, we would say MBA FinTech, MBA Finance with FinTechnology, MBA with Digital Payment System, MBA with, for this 18 people I'm talking about. It will be definitely useful. Okay, BBA, there's a hell of a lot of jobs. BSc and MBA combination is totally different. So you should know what you did in your BSc and how you can, because most of the companies, they would love to give jobs based on their connection. For example, BTech, if there's BTech mechanical, there's nothing wrong in doing MBA operations, a BTech mechanical and an MBA operations, a BTech mechanical with an MBA supply chain. That's a combination I'm talking about. A BTech CSC in an MBA systems and data analytics. Okay, so Andamadri, that combination should be amazing. So thank you so much. 44 people have answered it. Thank you, the students community. So let's go with the percentage. Grace sir, 18%, 41, 40. Okay, so equally BSc is also coming up, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, fine. Okay, let's wait then. I guess. Okay. All right, 45. So let's go with the next question. This is going to be fantastic question. So now let's see. The first question is, I saw more of MBA and others maybe BTech. Now we boil down more and we are able to see BTech, BCom, BBA, BSc, and again, BCom is high. And it's a good combination. Never ever think my UG is right or wrong. It's over. It's over. Okay. So now we should focus on the future. What skills should we upgrade based on the UG? Because you cannot go and do a postmortem analysis of a dead body. It's over. Degree on this kaila. Okay. And to be honest with you, you should believe me, most of you don't know how you passed your undergraduation. Honestly, agree that. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும், உங்களுக்கே தெரியாது நீ எப்படி பாஸ் ஆயிட்டேன்னா. சும்மா பாஸ் ஆயிட்டோம், முடிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. We got a degree now. Now we're in PG. So we should focus more on that. What is the college doing? What is the faculty doing? Let's go to the next question and honestly answer this question. Don't give me fake answers. Touch your heart and answer this question. Yeah. Is there somebody called Hari Krishna there? Can you unmute yourself? Hari Krishna. Are you there? He's playing Jallikattu. Is there somebody called Arunima Dev? Can you unmute yourself? I've given you access to unmute yourself.
Hello,
Oh, hello, Arunama Dev. Where are you from?
I'm from Kerala,
Oh, from Kerala, no? Everyone
Kollam.
Kollama. So, Arunama, what did you do in your undergraduation?
So I am doing undergraduation. I'm still in college.
What are you studying
Second
in
year.
your undergraduation, second year?
WORK data analytics.
Okay, vocational education, huh?
Yes, sir.
Data analytics. So, why did you take this vocational education course of data analytics?
I didn't want to take engineering and all. I wanted to try something new.
Very good. So, can you read this question on the screen?
What salary do you expect after your graduation?
Okay, you tell me honestly on the call. What salary you expect?
3 to 5 lakhs.
Sorry,
3 to 5 lakhs.
3 to 5 lakhs. Why can't you go with the 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs?
Sir, I just have only one degree, I
Okay,
have
so
to do some MBA or anything
okay,
else.
good. So everybody give a big hand to Arunima. She has been very honest, very open, saying that, sir, enaki 3 lakh, 5 lakh madi now. Then she's saying, I will try more. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is the point of being openness and being practical. The problem with this generation is people are not practical. Yeah, they're not practical in life. That's a problem. Yeah. All right. So let me just quickly go over to randomly different people and let's see who is the Praveen Kumar. Is there somebody called Praveen Kumar? Unmute yourself, Praveen Kumar.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening, Praveen Kumar. How are you doing, brother?
So fine, sir.
Yeah. Where are you from, Praveen Kumar?
Ooty.
Ooty.
Yes, sir.
Bro, Ooty has got a lot of beauty and it's distracting you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, if you go and tell this in the interview, what will happen, macha? Okay, Ooty is amazing, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you studying now,
Beautiful.
Praveen? What are you studying now?
Sir, MBA. MBA, sir.
Which year, which college?
He's
Sir,
my
Ramakrishna.
First year, second year.
Second year, sir.
So did I see you last year in your orientation?
Yes, sir. I see you, sir.
Praveen. So how is life taking you from the first year to the second year, brother?
So I just improve my knowledge and skills, sir.
I'm happy about it. I'm happy. So is it giving you confidence, Praveen, the MBA course?
Yes, sir.
Confidence?
Yeah, yes, sir. They're giving my confidence for my MBA course, sir.
Wonderful.
But I work in 1 year in my career life in my father company, sir.
Before coming to MBA?
Yes, sir. I complete my BE mechanical and the 1 year I work my father company.
Okay.
Right in here. But I need some experience to handle the people and my process also, sir. But
Wonderful.
MBA I give for knowledge for that how to dance people and that processes.
Praveen, my humble suggestion to you is after you finish your MBA, immediately there are so many courses which will send to Metala ma'am in your college. There is a 1-year PG diploma or 1-year course called Family Managed Business, FMB, FMB. So
Okay,
because you have a family business, you can do that family managed business and you can improve your family managed business 10x, 5x.
Okay.
Because you are educated. Your father did not start it by doing MBA.
Yes,
but
sir.
he did it with a practical learning, basic learning. Your father brought it. But if you did MBA and then so much, you can definitely take that company, and entrepreneurship is an amazing experience, brother. Okay. We're there to help you. Don't worry. Okay. Let's go to Raghunandini next. Come on, quick. By the time others are filling this data.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Namaskara. Where are you from? Introduce yourself.
Coimbatore, sir. My name is Raghunandini and I'm the MBA student, second year at ISREC.
So you're also a classmate of brother Praveen?
Yes, sir. I'm a friend of him.
Oh, did I meet you guys last year?
Yes, sir, you did.
In that hall?
Yes, sir. Conference hall.
What do you remember of after 1 year?
So we had more activities and you took it totally in a funny way, and
I remember some moments where I could learn about it, and actually, while it was my induction program was going on for MBA, so I was a bit nervous about MBA. And after your session, I felt something comfortable.
So what is your salary expectation after MBA?
5
First
to
option,
8
second
lakhs.
option, second option. Okay,
Second option.
good. So 51%. Can you read the percentage, which is high, which is low?
Yes, sir. This is 51%. Actually, 5 to 8 lakhs has been higher, and 8 to 10 lakhs is the lowest, and 32% is for 3 to 5 lakh, and about 10 lakh, 12% of people are thinking of it.
Okay, and this is students' choices. There's nothing wrong. Okay,
Yes.
and I'm
Yes.
telling you, this is nothing which cannot be impossible. It is possible. It
Yes.
is possible. I'm telling you, it is possible. Somewhere in the world, there is some opportunity. Provided next 4 days, let us, bisect it and dissect it and see what are these opportunities? Where are these salaries? What should I do? Yeah. And then I'm very sure that Corona also can, help us out. Okay. Last question. Madam, can you please read this question?
Do you want me to read, sir?
Yeah, Raghu, can you please, Raghunandan?
Yes. Yeah. What designation or position do you want to get in future?
Come on, let us see what people type here. Okay. So you can tell me what means in the future. I'm not saying 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. All right.
Yes,
Audience should tell us what is that in the future. Okay. What is it you want? What position?
Actually, according to me, I want to become a CEO of a reputed organization.
Wow. Then type it there. CEO.
Yes.
All right. Hey, don't tell me specialization. See, HR, somebody's typing. HR is not a designation. HR is a specialization. All right. What designation you want? CEO, finance specialist, HR analyst. Give designations. Oh, entrepreneur. Very good. Come on. Let's see. This is going good. Amazing workshop. I'm just enjoying it. General HR. Okay. See, HR generalist is the maximum jobs. All right. So I request anyone in HR to focus on HR generalist. Finance manager. Wow. Finance specialist. Wow. Bank manager. Wow. So they should start writing exams. Yeah. Finance specialist, human resource man. Farmer. That's an amazing job, man. Whoever has written farmer, so many jobs are there. Don't worry. Harish, are you there? Unmute Panango. Harish. Irkingla India. Harish bro, are you there? Deepa Karthik, are you there? While others are typing, I would like to listen to a couple of people. Who is Gladia? Gladia, Pavitra,
Sir,
Rams.
good evening,
Hi,
sir.
good evening. How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
Yes, madam. What is your, read the question and what is your answer, madam?
What destination position do you want in your future? My position, I needed a bank manager.
Did you type there, bank manager?
Yes, sir.
How do you think you want to become bank manager? What are the things you need to do before getting into bank manager?
Just I'm trying for past 2 years for a bank exam.
Okay.
So I need a.
You need a what?
So I needed to become a bank manager.
So the Solta Agama, you have to practice something, exam.
I need to practice something, sir.
Are you taking any coaching or are you doing a self-learning?
Yes, I'm taking coaching through online.
Online, where Gladia? Where are you taking?
In a NRI's academy.
Where, which city, which place is it?
It is Trichy, sir.
Oh, you're from Trichy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you need to prepare more. You need to do a lot of mock tests.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? And we'll also give you a lot of web links tomorrow. And
Okay, sir.
tomorrow, all of you will get an email. What are the course you want? How do you want? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Can you read what are the jobs designations people are typing there? Can you please read? Can you read, Gladia?
No, sir. No, sir. I can't able to.
Can you see the screen or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you just read that? Cyber security specialist. So many jobs are there. Don't worry. Then
Finance analyst, production manager, credit manager, CEO farmer,
Hmm.
and expertise in logistics, sales
Hmm.
manager, and start
Hmm.
a own company, senior manager in HR,
Wow.
data scientist,
Hmm.
chief financial officer,
Hmm.
cyber security specialist, production
Hmm.
manager,
Hmm.
logistic employee,
Hmm.
credit manager.
See, there's somebody who says Gati, Singapore. Very specific. And sales manager. Oh, wonderful. Good, guys. At least 30 people responded, which is good. So I want to stop this here and stop sharing the screen. All right. And thanks for giving that information, which is not a joke. You are giving your future. You're giving your okay. Is there Anbu K? Mr. Anbu K. Is there somebody there? Can you unmute yourself?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, Anbu, good evening. Quickly introduce yourself, brother. Just a quick introduction.
Sir, myself K. Anbukarasan. I am studying secondary MBA in SRC.
Which specialization have you opted for?
Marketing and logistics, sir.
Okay, Anbu, I want to have a very Anbu talk with you. Anbu. Your
Yes,
name is
sir.
Anbu. And
Okay.
ungaloda perliye Anbu means love is there. Yeah. So don't mistake me. I will ask you straight, blunt questions in English. அதை நான் தமிழ்ல கேட்க முடியாது. தமிழ்ல கேட்டா தூக்கம் வராது நிறைய பேருக்கு. So I'll ask you in English. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. You have to only tell me yes or no.
Okay, sir.
And if I ask you to justify, you should justify.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Life after 2021 graduation is going to be hell if you do not get placed. Yes or no?
No, sir.
Open question. Yes or no?
No.
Why? Justify.
Because placement only is not
Good. I'm happy. Come out, tell that. That's the right answer. What you're trying to say is, hey, Sam, sir, it's not just about job.
Yeah.
It's not about placement.
I want to do my own business and with my father, my father also doing business. So I have to start my own business and go in a high level.
Okay. Now, my next question to Anbu.
Yeah, sir.
If you don't get good designation in life, you are a failure and marriage will be a problem for boys. True or false? This is keeping boys in mind. If you don't get good position, good salary, your settling in life is going to be problem. Tamil la sollana ponnu kadikkiradhu kastamagum.
Yeah, sir, it's true.
Bro, what bro? You were cutting my head right away on the enna Anbu. Then what about Harish? What about Sandeep? What about Naveen? What will they feel now? Justify. Why did you say yes? Anbu?
Sir.
See, these are introspective questions which no MBA subject will teach you, my dear brothers.
Yeah, sir, correct, sir. Yeah.
There may be somebody who will say, sir, why are you thinking all these things, sir? Get married to an entrepreneur who is a woman. She has a business, she has money, she is having a good business. So Why can't you just get married to her? See, why I'm giving these two questions is, my dear friends, to this workshop, write down one quotation which is so close to my heart. Anybody who wants to find anything in a shortcut to grow, shortcut to get success, shortcut to make money, I want to warn all of you, warn, not request you. Shortcut will cut your life short. Shortcut will cut your life short. Write it down, my dear friends. Let's go the tough way. Let's go the clean way. Let's be the sincere person. Anything you think shortcut, getting a fake experience certificate, getting this, getting that, shortcut will always cut you short. Anbu sir, are you correct in what I'm telling?
Yeah, sir.
Do you agree? Do you agree to my statement?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So I want this to be very clear to all of you that shortcut will cut you short. Yeah. So Anbu, tell me whether you're able to see the screen before I close it, because we are supposed to close by 7. We have 4 to 5 minutes. Okay. There's youtube.com there on the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it there?
Yes, sir.
So if you go to YouTube and put Samuel Johnson, VIT, Samvad with Sam, interview, or whatever, Samvad with Sam, Sharada, Sarada. I don't know spelling, but I interviewed a girl called Sharada. Huh? Can you see this first interview?
Yeah, sir. Same.
How many months is it before?
2 months ago.
How many views till now?
1.5K views, sir.
Okay, so this is a story of Sharada. I want all of you to please, I will share this with Mitla ma'am, or I can also share this with your, you have a Zoom, I'm sorry. Do you have a chat now on your Zoom now? You have a chat, right?
Right, yes, sir. Having.
Okay, there, you see there, I've given that. So that's a link. Okay, this is Sharda. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And many of you won't know, Sharda did a BTech. Okay, she is a computer science graduate. And can you see her selling vegetables on the road? This is just now, even now. So we did a hashtag as a business school students. We found her article on the newspaper. Can you see there? She's selling vegetables on the road. She's a BTech computer science, and Sharda worked in Delhi. She works in IT, but because of Corona and all that, her company could not give her the space, so she had to come back. Her father, mother are a vegetable vendors. Okay, so that's her video. As soon as we saw, we started into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we would like to thank. All right, so that's Sharada, and we did this hashtag called Stand with Sharada, and yeah, she got a job. She studied well. You should see her English. She never thought that she has to sell vegetables.
All that amount to be invested into app development with my ideas. Then I started focusing on my independent career. But
all right, she's an app developer. She's a software engineer. She also sells vegetables. Now, the model of the story, what I'm trying to tell is, she never gave up. You can listen in that interview. She never gave up that, Corona is going to devastate her life. She never thought that, okay, I'm in IT, why should I? She says, hey, I am making a good amount of money. I have to work early in the morning. I have to support my parents. All right. But we are so happy to tell you that so many companies have come forward. Sharda is a girl with determination. I'm talking about now during COVID, on the Hyderabad, on the payment. She sells vegetables with her brother, with her father, with her mother. An engineering computer science graduate, an app developer, a software engineer. When life goes bad, she never thought life is done. All right, she came back. She's doing what she loves to do. All right. There are so many ways. So before we wind up for the day, I want you to write down, if you can write down and say, you need not have, you need not be great and big to start. I repeat again, You need not be big, you need not be great to start. You need to start somewhere to be great and to be big. I repeat again. You need not be big to start somewhere. You need to start somewhere to be big. Anywhere in Coimbatore, in Araspuram, in Ooty, in Kodaikanal, in Chennai, as a trainee, as an executive, as a consultant, all right? Maybe somebody will say, hey, I can only give you experience. Can you work for free? You need to be very clear. You need to start somewhere to make it big. You need not be big to make it as big top entrepreneur. Not possible. So I hope today's day was good, talking and getting to know from a vice president, talking and getting to see top people, and you gave your chance. Now it's 7 p.m. sharp, and we need to respect your time, and we need to respect your commitments. We said 5 to 7, it'll be 5 to 7. So we're done for the day. But keep waiting for us and see us in the email. Can just at least some of you, now the program is over, can you just turn on your cam so that we can take a one print screen and send it to Dr. Metala ma'am and the team of professors, wherever they are, Dr. Vanaja and all that, we can send it to them. Yeah. Can you just switch on your camera? It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your hairstyle. It doesn't matter your layer 1, layer 2 makeup. It's okay. We're all at home. So yeah. Can you quickly, Sandeep, Kirtana, Harita, because we don't know whom I'm talking to, but at least the response is coming. Yeah, there we see. Ritika is like, I'm the obedient girl. I'm just sitting there. Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna, you're still playing. He's playing with that bull. All right. Anbu is turn on the camera. Current pochu nanchitrேன் தெரியல. Hare Krishna, wow, man, unmute yourself.
Hi, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
How is life going on, brother?
Going good, sir.
Good, yeah. How was today? Anything happened today in your thinking? Little bit?
Nothing much. I was just waiting for the meeting.
Not anything learned today in the 1 hour?
Yes, sir. It's been 1 year. I completed my BTech on 2019. So the whole year I was not into education or into all these things. So today was something different. Listening to people into education back after 1 year.
Good, brother. So we will see on a 4-day continuous basis. We will ensure that we give you what did you do your BTech undergraduation? Computer science?
Mechanical engineering.
Wow. So what are you doing now? Year break?
I finished my BTech and I was actually into a dairy farm. One of my friends' dairy farm.
Wonderful.
Basically, I'm an animal lover and I had a passion to get into
wildlife?
Animal husbandry, basically.
Oh, okay.
So since I couldn't take up my 12th biology, I didn't have the chance to do that. So since my family is an engineering background family, I was like, I had an option to get into engineering. And then dairy farming came into my way through my friends. So I was taking care of that for after my engineering. Oh, I just, why not an MBA? So I came into MBA.
So where are you studying now?
No, I completed, now I've joined SREC MBA.
Oh, first year?
Yeah, first year.
Bro, I tell you one thing, Hare Krishna, you have a world of opportunities in animal husbandry through MBA. I will tell you in the next 4 days. I'm not joking. All right. You can get through internships in Blue Cross. You can get through, I can give you dozens of NGOs internationally, which is in animal husbandry. All right. You never know. They need managers. They need business, intelligence to solve the problems which are so cruel to animals. So you never know, Hari. Let's work together as a journey, and you will definitely grow, brother. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
God bless you. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Mary Matilda. Would you like to close your
he's going to be a new student. I think the first time we are having one of the, upcoming batch student here. So thank you. A big thanks to every participant here. A very big thanks to all my faculty team who have joined here. And, without their help, this program wouldn't have been into picture. Thank you, Grace Anthony, for coordinating this with Samuel Johnson. And big thanks to Sohail. I don't know whether he's here, but I have to thank him for, he was working all through for the last week and helping us in the brochure and the registrations. Of course, should I thank Johnson? Yeah. Anyway, I'll thank you on the last day, Friday. Yeah. Okay, so, it was a wonderful day. And I'm very thankful and grateful to the management of the SNR Sons Charitable Trust, for their very gracious support in all our programs, all our, endeavors of this SRECB school. I'm grateful to the principal, Dr. N.R. Alamelu. I think one of the days she would like to join when Derek is coming down. So on that day, she will be, sharing some thoughts of hers. And, wonderful set of participants here. I specifically, especially want to thank all the heads of the departments of different institutions who have, motivated you students to participate in this program. So, thanks to Sham from MKCT, I think some 11 to 12 students are there from this team, and many other colleges too. So a big thanks to all the participants here. And we are looking forward that tomorrow also you all will join us at 5 o'clock sharp, and we will try to complete it by 7. And, every day, I'm sure you will have a lot of takeaways. Though Samuel Johnson is my student, in this lockdown, at least 3 programs I've attended, whatever he's conducted, and it was so helpful for me to conduct my online classes. And I keep learning from him. Whenever I don't know something, I'll just call him to ask, how about this? What is this? And everything. He's always most welcome to explain to me. Anytime he doesn't mind getting disturbed. And this is how a faculty, student relationship is. Today morning also, I was sharing about this in my online class for some time. As usual, you told lecture, no? So some lecture I will give to my students, right? Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing, that a faculty can actually cherish.
It's 18 years, huh? 2002, you were my professor, 2002.
Yes.
And now it's 2020, 18 years. That impact is still there. And the Mandukula Moola, yeah.
See, he's a student who was very innovative and creative. Every time he'll come with a piece of paper, a notepad and a pen. Every break he will come and he'll scribble and talk something. But one thing I have to tell is that whatever he scribbles and talk, he meant it and he made it. He implemented it. So I think, some of the programs that he did those time, even till now I do it. He was the initiator. So, this is how scribbled.
Even now,
okay.
every day.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is how we want all you students to be with faculty, to your alma mater. Okay, and that's what is learning really, real life. And today, thanks to Shivashankari ma'am, Uma ma'am, for sharing a lot of, insight, real-time insights. So tomorrow also we will have wonderful session like this. A big thanks to everybody. Have a good evening. Take some rest. Have your online classes tomorrow. Come back for 5 o'clock.
All right. Thank you all. Be safe wherever you are. SMS, SMS, SMS. All right. Follow SMS. Yeah. Sanitize, social mask, social distancing. Take care, ma'am. Thank you so much. So can I close the call?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Grace, sir. Thanks,
Thank you,
Vanaja, ma'am.
I
don't know whether other teachers are there. Vanaja, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Madeleine. Thank you, Grace, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So thanks all. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.